Hi, I'm Larry Lettich. Welcome to The Art of Feeling. We therapists can be so annoying. Over and over, we ask the same dumb question. How do you feel about that? How do you really feel about that? But there's a reason we ask that so much. Feelings and emotions drive everything we humans do. If there was any question about it before, the last 30 years of neuroscientific research has proven it beyond a shadow of a doubt. I'm not just talking about the strong and noisy emotions. I'm talking about all the little feelings, all the moment-to-moment emotions that get you out of bed, that get you to make coffee and go to work, that get you to turn left instead of right, or talk to one coworker instead of a different one. You may think you're one of those reasonable, rational people who doesn't act according to your emotions, but I can assure you, you do not do what you think is the best thing to do. You do what you feel is the best thing to do at that moment. You are moved by a feeling inside you. So if you want to understand why you do things, you're going to have to become aware of what you're feeling that's moving you to do them. But most people have a lot of trouble being in touch with what they feel. Some people, when you ask them what they feel, will immediately go to what they think. But other people, and maybe you're one of them, feel like they're very good at knowing what they feel. But what if I told you that you may not be as in touch with how you feel as you think you are? Here's why. The truth is, because of the way the human brain is wired, a lot of the time, even those of us who feel like we're really in touch with our feelings aren't actually in touch with what we feel. We're in touch with what we think we feel. And then we come up with long, complicated explanations and stories about why we feel what we believe we feel. And then, to make things worse, we can end up feeling bad because we don't think we should feel the way we think we feel, or we don't like the way those feelings seem to make us act. And by the time we get here, we have strayed very far from our original feelings. It can be hard to break through the clutter of your thoughts and get below all the secondary emotions, all the turbulence created by your mind as it adds to, reacts, and judges what's really going on inside you. So how can you cut through all that to discover what you truly feel deep down inside? The following 8 points can help you find your way. Point number 1. Feelings are something you feel. The first thing to know about feelings is that you feel them. They feel like something, the way you feel your hand touching a table or the gnawing in your stomach when you're hungry. These sensations, or groups of sensations, happen within you right now, in the present moment. This may sound ridiculously obvious, but it's not as obvious as it sounds. Don't assume you know what you feel about something just because that's how you've always felt about it, or that's how you should feel about it. If you're not feeling a feeling, you're not feeling it. Feelings aren't static and stable objects like an arm or a leg or a finger. They're a process occurring in your nervous system, continually being generated and regenerated. You can't literally feel what you felt yesterday or even 15 minutes ago. You can feel the same as the way you felt yesterday, but what you feel is what you're feeling inside of you right now. Got that? So now, let's move on to point 2. True feelings are experienced in the body, and they start below the level of words. This is the heart of the matter. Think of a horse, or your dog, or for that matter, a baby. They feel, right? But do they have language? Do they think in words? The brain circuitry that creates emotions in animals and in us evolved millions of years before human language came along. Because of this, our emotions at their core are fundamentally wordless. They're more like music, which is why music moves us so much, and why movies add soundtracks to increase the feels. Feelings start out below the level of words as bodily sensations of varying intensities. Their purpose is to signal to you that something important is happening in your internal state. The next point may be the most surprising one. Point number 3. Feeling is slower than thinking. Now, you may think I'm totally off base with this one. Everyone knows that emotions are faster. They fly in and make people react and do stupid things before they've had time to think, right? Well, you're right. When we feel sufficiently in danger, fight or flight reactions are designed to get us to act before our cognitive brains can reflect upon the information we're receiving. They're a great survival mechanism. You don't even have to realize that you heard a sound that could be a tiger hiding in the bushes. You just run. In fact, it turns out that any sufficiently intense emotion can make us think and act in ways that our normal state of mind barely even recognizes. But the picture is more complicated than it looks. Those hot emotions may be faster than thinking, but ordinarily, feeling is slower. To begin with, our thoughts are incredibly fast. We all know that we can think a mile a minute, right? But we can't actually feel a mile a minute. If you're going really fast, thinking and talking really fast, you really are going too fast to be able to sense your deeper, slower emotions. In order to get in touch with those deeper emotions and feel them, you need to slow down. And here's another surprising fact. You're probably painfully aware that your emotions can sometimes hijack your thinking brain. But did you know that it goes the other way too? Our speedy thinking brains hijack our emotions. The truth is, at the slightest hint of emotional discomfort registered in here, our thoughts are ready to jump in and take over the whole situation. Faster than the blink of an eye, our thinking brain gets an entire story running through our minds about what's going on, and it gets us ready to react. And in the process, it pretty much totally shuts down our awareness of the original bodily feeling. Now, it would be nice if our thinking brain was good and wise and calm and objective most of the time. But it's not. Let's not kid ourselves. A lot of time, it does a really bad job. Rather than giving us calm and rationality, a train of thoughts starts rolling. Pema Chodron calls them runaway thoughts. And they produce thought-driven emotions, which leads us to point number 4. Thought-driven emotions are not true feelings. Thought-driven emotions are those emotional reactions you get when your thoughts run amok. And they're bad. You send a text saying, "Last night was amazing, I love you so much," to your girlfriend or boyfriend, and 6 hours go by and they still haven't replied, and you feel a twinge of hurt and fear inside, and then the thoughts kick in. And soon you're thinking, "I'm such an idiot. What was I thinking? He's mad at me. What did I do wrong? She doesn't love me anymore." And you feel like pond scum. Or you're on the highway and someone makes you hit the brakes because they cut in front of you. And your actual bodily feeling is startled and a little scared. But instead you're thinking, "How dare that motherfucker cut me off like that? Who the hell does he think he is? What's wrong with people these days?" You're ready to drop an atomic bomb on the entire highway. But hey, it's your thoughts driving you nuts. So in addition to stop and think, maybe we need to add stop, slow down, and feel. But if your thoughts and emotional reactions don't tell you what you really feel, what does? This leads to point number 5. Feelings often originate as bodily sensations in the center of your body, or images attached to bodily sensations located there. As I said in points 1 and 2, true feelings start as something you can feel, something you experience in your body. But where and how do they show up? Often they make their first appearance as subtle bodily sensations. But not just anywhere. Generally, they start right here, in the center part of your body, somewhere in your chest, stomach, or abdomen. Or they can start as a feeling in your throat or a teary feeling behind your eyes. But wherever you feel them, they're a visceral sensation. This isn't really surprising because our language is full of these. I feel weighed down is a feeling. So is its opposite. I feel like a weight's been lifted from my shoulders. Or how about a sudden sinking feeling? Notice how much you feel those feelings in your body. Sometimes feelings are represented first as images, which is another way our brains process experience. Unlike paintings or movies, however, these images have a visceral, felt quality. For example, a dark cloud has come over me, or it's like there's a wall around my heart. Of course, feelings don't always come to our awareness as sensations or images first, and they usually don't stay there. When their meaning starts to become clear, what you start to get are feeling words. Let's go to point 6. The words for original feelings are simple, but there are more than 6 of them. You may have heard or read that there are 6 primary or categorical emotions: happiness, sadness, anger, surprise, fear, and disgust. This idea originated from research showing that these 6 emotions create universal facial expressions recognized by people from every corner of the earth. But further research showed that there are far more than 6 primary emotions. Real feelings are shaded and of different intensities, and we can have more than one feeling at a time. But it's clear that true feelings, the ones you feel in your body in the moment, have a certain simple quality. Like, I'm excited, or I'm moved, or I feel safe, or unsafe, or I'm lonely. To review, original feelings are felt in the body, they're in present time, they emerge slowly and often don't start as words, but when words do come, they tend to be simple words. But if you have done all that, how do you know that what you have gotten to inside is what's truly going on within you? This leads to point number 7. Your true emotions feel true in your body. So check in there. When people look in their heads to figure out how they feel, it's like saying it's 12 o'clock, so I must be hungry. There's no feeling behind it. But even if you don't think you do, you, like everyone else, have a built-in feedback loop to let you know what you feel, and it seems to emanate from those inner places located somewhere within your torso. Granted, the connection may be a little bit rusty from disuse, but you still have it. When you've identified something you might be feeling, check in there to see if it fits. You will get a clear yes, no, or not quite. If you don't get a yes immediately, stay with it and keep checking to see if you're getting closer to it or not until you get that inner yes. That yes is a very good feeling. You feel like something inside you goes, yes, that's exactly how I feel. Your body relaxes, you may sigh, and in some hard to describe way, you feel aligned with yourself. Carl Rogers, the great mid-20th century psychologist, who's truly the father of all modern-day psychotherapy, called it congruence. We call it being emotionally connected. Finally, we come to point number 8. When feelings are felt, they can change. Lots of people avoid their feelings because they think that if they start to feel them, they'll only get stronger and they'll never end. In fact, the opposite is true. It's when people don't feel their feelings that they get stuck. But when you acknowledge and let yourself feel the feelings you're really having, no judgment, no trying to change them or push them away, they actually may change. They often do. Not only do they change, you may find that you progress through a succession of different feelings until you reach a resolution. Sometimes that's harder to do than other times. Some feelings are more difficult to resolve. And if there is something in your life that's really causing you the distress you're feeling, the feeling's not going to go away by just feeling it. You have to do something about the cause. But feelings and emotions move. Their whole purpose for existing is to tell you this is where you are and this is what you need to do and where you need to go. The change they call for may be within you or may be external or maybe it's a combination, but implied within them are the seeds of their own resolution. And so, the next time you ask yourself or someone asks you, and how do you feel about that? Don't settle for the easy answers. Don't settle for the same old thoughts and stories that go through your head again and again. Stop and dig within yourself to sense freshly what you truly feel in your body deep down right now. Even if it's confusing at first, even if it goes against what you usually think. And then follow it. Follow it until you feel that core of truth resonate inside you. If you can let go of all the usual things you tell yourself, all the usual stories and past scripts, and just dare to feel and express the simple truths of what is going on inside you moment to moment, and then let your honest feelings reveal themselves, move through you, and change if they wish, then you can live more authentically, and you can change your world.